At this time, it is my pleasure to call your September 2025 meeting of your Hanover Borough Council to order. I request that we all please stand and recite our Pledge of Allegiance. Follow that by a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all. Thank you, and please be seated. Secretary Felix, let's call the roll.
Mr. Bub? Here. Mr. Fuentes?
Here.
Mrs. Funk? Mrs. Greenholt?
Here.
Mr. Hegberg?
Here.
Mr. Kress?
Here.
Mr. Lookenbill?
Here.
Mr. Riekert?
Here.
Mr. Rowland? Here. Dr. Ropp?
Here.
Solicitor Schultes? Manager Lewis?
Here.
Mayor Whitman?
Here.
Secretary Felix? Junior Counsel Alexis Day. We have a quorum.
Thank you. I guess let the record reflect that council did not participate in any executive sessions since its last executive session as recently as yesterday. So moving along, as chair, I'm going to supersede public comment before the presentation, just in an interest of order this evening. So let me open it up for our first public comment portion this evening. I have several to get through. The first is Robert Holt.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. In the vein of the proclamation of Kindness Week, I would ask that you reflect on your motto, Fiat Justitia, let justice be done, though the full quote is actually, let justice be done, though the heaven may fall, which talks about accountability. I want to address the item on the agenda concerning the recommendation on a traffic study at High Street and Maple Street, and that they're recommending to remove all the parking back 150 feet on the east side of High and locate it to the west side, I guess, though they say they can do that. However, I think there needs to be a pause and another look at that recommendation for a number of reasons. For one, they cite two statutes, a federal statute and a state Commonwealth statute, for why we cannot see some of the information, though the laws are intended to prevent the study from being used as evidence in litigation stemming from accidents. But we can't even see the tallies and number of cars, things like that, the average speeds, things like that. None of that can be released to the public, and that just doesn't seem to make sense. It really doesn't. And so I think also there was no consultation with the Planning Commission, and I just feel like there's a situation the borough created 25 years ago, long before anybody in this room was involved, when they permitted landlords, property owners, to stack a bunch of apartments in a house that was created for one family. And it created a whole situation, and now there's all this parking, there's some people, they live in single-family homes. They rent them, but they live in single-family homes. And some of those people are probably here tonight. They'll talk to you about it. But it just seems like it just went to the default move, and I've looked at something. They kept citing something called the Manual and Uniform Traffic Control Devices for Streets and Highways. I have the 11th edition, 2023, and that's issued by the Department of Transportation. And the Commonwealth, the PennDOT, uses that. And when I was looking through the section on pages 74 to 78 of that like 1,400 page document. It's just not as cut and dry, and there seems to be some other considerations other than just going to the default move that seems to be what folks like, which is just push back on the traffic. And if you did that in every neighborhood where these situations exist, because the borough just let people convert all kinds of houses into a mass multifamily apartment dwellings, you're going to have a lot of people who aren't going to have any place to park. And I just think it seems unfair to give the benefit of the doubt to the landlords and penalize the people who live there. And so I think you ought to table it and ask for some more consideration, because there are other factors that can be considered that I didn't hear discussed when this was presented to the Public Safety Committee. And sir, I thank you for your time.
Okay. Next, we have Christine Laviola. I get it close?
Good evening.
Your address, if you could just start with that.
My address is 147 North George Street, but
Okay.
I'm here in regards to 485 and 485 and a half High Street. I've purchased these properties 22 years ago in regards as investment properties. They are 2 duplexes. They've always been 2 duplexes, 3-bedroom units on each side, individual homes. 2 properties. I have one of my tenants here is they're all 3 bedrooms, and they've always had parking available in front of each unit. There is a no parking sign immediately in front of the properties. The one property, 485 and a half, 1 car parks immediately in front of it, if it's available, which it usually is, and one is around the corner on Maple Avenue. The next unit is 485, which is currently vacant. I had a young mother, single mother with a young baby under 1 year of age, parked in front of that home. It's currently vacant, and I'm getting ready to rent that property. Not sure what to tell my coming tenant coming in there as far as the parking situation. Not only that, I'm concerned about the valuation of the property, because not only the renting value, but also to sell the property, if there is no available parking, it's going to go down. I'm also concerned about the safety of my tenants, if they have to park down the street, across the street, or around the corner. There's no lighting for the tenants. They have to come and go all times of the day and night. If they have to take their toddlers, their groceries, or if they're older individuals, how are they going to come and go? And again, this property has always been a duplex. It has not been changed. I am a taxpayer. I register the property with the borough on the annual basis as required, and I'm just asking that you take all options into consideration before making your decision. And I thank you in advance for your consideration.
Right. Next, we'll hear from Charles Alvarez. Alvarez.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I won't make this long-winded. I'm at
Your address first, Steve.
485 and a half High Street.
Thank you.
I've lived there for 7 years. I run a graphic business, so at night I'm designing all night long, so I'm in and out getting air, taking a walk, whatever. The problem isn't so much that you cannot see the corner. The problem is that there's like 4 signs on that block. It's this big, and it says no parking, and then you have 2 25-mile-per-hour limit signs. Now, me doing graphics, I notice all this kind of stuff. So what my recommendation would be, and I'm no one to recommend it, these are just my suggestions, okay, is you put like the yellow safety signs or the green safety signs, something that says to people there's a 4-way crossing up ahead, and then on Maple Street on those stop signs, put something that says opposing traffic does not stop, because that's the biggest problem. And the biggest problem is the speeding, because I'm out there at all hours of night, and these people just zoom down the street because there's nothing slowing them down between getting over those train tracks and reaching Elm Street, which is the only flashing light. Now, I understand it's an issue putting a stop sign right there, because then you're making people slow down, stop, and then stop again on Elm. That could be a problematic problem with traffic. But if we have a few more signs in the area that say, hey, this is coming up, that reflect back at people, that may help the situation, because that's what I've noticed. And my neighbors and I have gone out there and helped people that have crashed. And just last week was like almost twice I saw somebody get T-boned. And it's because there's no warnings up and down that block. When they were testing everything and they put the digital speedometer that was telling people your speed, everybody slowed down tremendously. Me and my other neighbor noticed that. So it's not a matter of cutting everybody back 150 feet. I have handicapped neighbors that, what is she going to do? You know what I'm saying? So if I don't park my truck there and you want me to take that 8 feet or whatever and just give it to my immediate neighbor and I'll find something to do, but don't take the parking away from 150 feet of parking away from people. Those people, they pay mortgages. You know, we're all up in age. You know what I mean? I haven't seen anybody young next to me. You know what I mean? So I'm just here to request that this thing is better looked at and more options studied to see what we can do to make it a better resolution to the whole thing. And that's it. I thank you for your time.
Okay. And lastly, we'll have Lila Pitts. You could start with your address and then.
481 and a half High Street.
Thank you.
And I think I may be the elderly neighbor that Charlie was talking about. It is mine is one of the parking spots they're going to take. So there's 4 of them out front. I'm handicapped. I have COPD, degenerative disc disease. For me to be carrying packages, laundry, from house to car is hard enough as it is. Now you want to take away my parking spot, which actually my neighbors are really kind enough to make sure I always have a spot in front of my house. But now they want to take it from me. This is going to make my life much more difficult. If I have to park across the street, especially, as Charlie said, the speeding up and down that street is crazy. Now I got to carry packages, baskets across the street dealing with this traffic. And as a senior, I'm not as steady on my feet as I used to be. So in some places I disagree with Charlie. I've always thought that a 4-way stop would be a solution at Maple and Elm. I could be wrong, but I do know that you need to look into another solution to this problem before you create more problems. Because this 150 feet is going to cause a whole lot of problems. And I don't even understand why it would have to be 150 feet. So I hope you take these things into consideration before you make this decision to do that. Thank you.
Okay. Community media, is there anyone waiting in electronic wing, so to speak, waiting to address council?
Those joining us via Zoom, you are now able to unmute yourselves if you would like to address council.
Taking that as a no, we will close the first public comment portion of the meeting and note I do see a few newcomers here. We have one following the meeting. If you're thinking about saying something, we'd encourage you to fill out a submission form and bring it up front here. Okay, moving back in the agenda to presentations and proclamations. That would be 301, those of you who are following along. We have a proclamation to issue this evening. I'll come forward. Mayor Whitman, would you join me in the presentation? We have Mr. Gary Sutton from Kindness Worldwide Ambassador to come forward. This is Mayor Whitman.
Nice to meet you.
Would you like to read something? No. Okay. Whereas kindness is an expression of love that brings out the best in others and in ourselves, with overwhelmingly positive implications for health and broader peace and well-being. And whereas kindness is the heartbeat of the world that, like life vests, keeps us afloat, it makes us believe in ourselves, instills hope, builds self-esteem, and fosters connectedness. And whereas experiencing and performing acts of kindness are known to provide greater happiness and optimism, reduce feelings of helplessness and depression, and an increased sense of self-worth, and whereas acts of kindness often inspire others to pay it forward in meaningful ways, thereby having significant coattails in which their influence extends well beyond the initial acts themselves. And whereas no act of kindness is too small to make a difference and change a life, and anyone can make a lasting impact and change the world through kind actions. And whereas as humanity's greatest asset, kindness is a choice that should be encouraged, recognized, rewarded, and celebrated to achieve more of it locally and beyond. Now therefore, I, William Ricart, President of Hanover Borough Council, hereby proclaim Kindness Week worldwide, effective in Hanover Borough from November 8th through November 15th, 2025. During this time, individuals, families, schools, businesses, faith-based and service organizations, and all community constituents and ecosystems are encouraged to personify the theme, see the good, be the good, go the extra mile, for kindness is limited only by the bounds of imagination and creativity. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thank you, Mayor. Appreciate it.
Do this for your picture. Is the microphone too much in the way? Thank you.
Are you associated with Kevin?
I am.
Very good.
Yeah, I'm accepting this on behalf of Kevin tonight, who's in Portugal.
Would you like to
Okay.
say anything on behalf of the?
Sure, I'm just here on behalf of Kevin Smith tonight, who started kindness worldwide about 3 years ago, an act of kindness that happened to him here in York. He's from York, Pennsylvania, and he started on Good Friday when he left his wallet at a market, and a girl returned it who had no license, found someone else to give a ride to return his wallet. It had a profound effect on him, and he started Kindness Worldwide. You can find it at kindnessworldwide.org. November 8th to November 15th is Kindness Week, and he's made York the epicenter of all this. He's going to places all over the world right now, and is working with a lot of people to bring kindness to the world, and starting with each of us right here. So we thank Hanover for making this proclamation. We hope that all the boroughs in the area will do the same thing, as well as the city of York, and spread it out from there. But remember, there's no act too small to be kind to somebody. And so on behalf of Kevin tonight, it's an honor to have a chance to be here among all of you and to accept this proclamation on his behalf. Thank you all very much. Appreciate it.
I'm not going to let it go that quickly, Gary.
Okay.
This man is a very accomplished basketball coach in our area, and I believe he's probably way too humble to speak to that effect. But I, as a former coach myself, am humbled to be in the greatness of someone who's had the success that you have, and I think it would be a good story to hear, I don't know it in advance, how you came to be with us here this evening, your inspiration to kindness, if you would.
Well, I do a radio talk show in New York. I've done a talk show for about 28 years, first on WSBA, I'm now on WOYK. And my studio is actually right at Wellspan Park Stadium, the home of the Revolution. And I was let go from WSBA on November 7th after 28 years and decided to start a new program. And as I got in there and got everything started, someone kept saying, you got to meet this guy, Kevin Smith. You got to meet this guy, Kevin Smith. Kevin Smith is just an unbelievable person. And I hope you have a chance to meet him sometime when he comes here and talks with you. But one of the things that Kevin said to me, he said, you know, I was a pretty good person before this kindness thing hit me, and before that act happened on Good Friday 3 years ago. And one of the things that he said was that, he said, I used to watch the news every day, and I thought there's nothing we can do about this world, which is so fallen, and all the terrible things that are happening. And obviously here in our area, we're very aware of that, especially in the past week. And obviously beyond that nationally with the shooting that took place in Arizona. But he said, you know what? He said, after that act of kindness was done by a girl that didn't even have a license, she could have kept my wallet, she could have let it go. He said, someone went out of their way to do something kind in that moment. I realized that, you know, I'm able to affect my world by the things I could do to people in my own little quarter. And I know to a lot of us it seems like a very simple little thing and maybe almost too symbolic. And yet at the same time, we run so fast in this life sometimes that we run by people who have histories right there in front of us, who are waiting to matter during that day, who are waiting to be cared about. And that's one of the things that Kevin does every day. There's no person that doesn't matter to him. And so he and I have become really good friends. He just named me a kindness ambassador worldwide recently. I haven't traveled worldwide with it yet, but I've just tried in my own little corner of the world to make sure that when I pass by someone, they're having a better day. And when they pass by me, I hope they feel the same. And so I think if we all could start to do that, and especially in light of the events here that happened recently, and realize there is a lot of kindness in the world. there are a lot of great people around, and there are a lot of moments yet to be had. I think we'll be a lot better off in the long run. So there is no thing too small to be kind, and we appreciate the Borough Council again recognizing that. And please go to kindnessworldwide.org, November 8th to 15th. There'll be all kinds of activities going on, and please be aware of that. Kevin's actually got a countdown clock right now going down to the hours until, days and hours until the event occurs. So thank you again for allowing us to be part of this today. And again, I accept this on behalf of Kevin Smith. Thank you.
I want to share the council in something that happened to me just today. In preparation for the presentation this evening, over the course of time, I like to believe that kindness has been working in me and in my efforts and in who I am. And in trying to prepare to introduce the man who just left, who is, again, I hope you can tell he's a very good person doing a very good thing. I came across a quote that the man who started this, Kevin Smith, said that I just could not end without it being spoken. Kevin said in one sentence, he said, "So let's strive to be the reason someone believes in the goodness of people." Kevin Smith. We've just proclaimed it as a council in front of our community that we are elected to represent. Now I challenge you as a council, as the leader of council, for whatever time I still have left the honor of doing that, I challenge you to live and to embody what that means. That doesn't mean that you hide it behind a scowl, behind a reddened face, furrowed brow. That means that you put a smiling face and a countenance upon yourself, and you go out and you present yourself that way. I like to believe that in a subtle, very small way, in the tragic events that transpired locally, recently, and have been transpiring in this world as a whole, that if we, who are the people up here who are elected to lead, who are expected to lead, that we realize word choice is important, and we realize how we put a positive attitude, even when we disagree, going forward, and how we model disagreement expressed in a fashionable way such that it achieves an outcome that is true and just. I challenge you. And also, before I come back and get back into the meeting, and I promise it will be quickly, I'd like us all to stand and maybe take a minute and reach out to someone and express an act of kindness. And maybe someone you don't know, maybe someone you do. Everyone do one thing of kindness, and then I'll be happy. Thank you. Be with you.
And likewise, thank you. Thank you.
Stretch a little bit, right?
Okay, thank you for indulging me. At this time, we will move into the consent agenda. Because there has been some discussion, I'm going to specifically bring up for discussion amongst council whether we are ready to keep 508, the High Street parking resolution, in the consent or take it out. Okay? I have a motion and a second to table 508, that being the High Street parking restriction. Any discussion? Okay, I'll call that specific question. And all in favor of tabling 508 High Street parking, signify by saying aye, please.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay? Motion carries. Anything else to remove from the consent agenda before I call the question? Seeing none, is there a motion for approval of the consent? Again, to be clear, this is minus 508. All in favor of approval of consent agenda, signify by saying aye, please.
Aye.
Opposed, nay? Motion carries. We'll move into item 6, public safety. Counselor Fuentes.
East Park Avenue parking restriction.
Turn your mic on.
Oops, sorry.
Sorry.
Didn't know it wasn't loud enough. Refuse vehicle, nope, that's the wrong one here. East Park Avenue parking restriction, approve ordinance number 2382. Can I get a motion?
Can I get a second? Second. Any discussion? All in favor of 601 East Park Avenue parking restriction, signify. Ooh. Yes. All in favor, signify when your name is called.
Mr. Kress?
Yes.
Dr. Rupp?
Yes.
Mr. Hagberg?
Yes.
Mr. Bub? Yes. Mrs. Greenholt?
Yes.
Mr. Fuentes?
Yes.
Mr. Lichtenberg? Yes. Mr. Rowland? Yes. Mr. Ricard?
4.
The motion to pass the ordinance is 9-1 in favor of, with no opposed.
Okay.
Sorry, 9-0.
That leaves us for 7. Counselor Kress.
Back to my favorite thing. Ratify building construction change order updates, A, which is change order number 2, and a net savings of $362,875.
Ooh-ah.
Second.
Any discussion? Okay. It's been moved and seconded. All in favor of the consideration signify by saying aye, please.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. What? We're good? Okay. Alrighty, that'll bring us back to item 8, the second additional public comment period. Okay, I've got a new one. Mr. Holt, you're at the top of my list for the second.
We'll pass tonight. Everybody's tired.
Thank you. Sandy Mao, you're up next.
Is this on?
Mhm.
Kindness Week. In the interest of trying to be kind after what I have been subjected to today, and for the past 20 years at the hands of one of your operatives. Right to know continues to be an issue. Someone has been in the files constantly, and this is after I made an appeal to the state. This individual had one of her operatives come into the library on Saturday and drop off this note over my shoulder. Would you be interested in making money? I'm walking out back. Come out if you're interested. If not, it's okay. Then today, she had a few more, and all I did was make notes. I didn't get much done for this meeting. As far as grandstanding, Mr. Kress, when I choose to use an emphasis in order to get your attention, that is part of free speech. That is not grandstanding. And although you turned off the mic at the last meeting, I still heard it.
Okay, and lastly, we have Eric Hinkle. Yes. You could just, I gave the name. If you could give your address, we'll record that in the record, and then you can
Eric
speak.
Hinkle, 111 Charles Street, Hanover. Hi, thank you for, didn't know I had to fill out a form. So, it looks like Kinsley Construction is still full steam ahead, putting gas lines in all over the town. And it's getting to be like the Baja, right? So I was wondering if there was a time that they're supposed to wrap up by, and if they're gonna like repave the Baja. Because it's everywhere we go, right? And the only other comment that I had was the roadways and alleys around the post office are atrocious. It's heavily used because people drop, it's really bad. And then there's folks that live down in that little holler there, and it's just gone. The road's not even there. So I was just going to suggest that maybe that be looked at. And thank you for your time.
Okay.
Nice digs, by the way. This is great.
I'll ask community media, anybody
Those
chomping
joining
at the
us
bit?
via Zoom, you are now able to unmute yourselves if you would like to address council.
Seeing none, I'll close the final public comment portion of the meeting. Under announcements, I have firstly, try to keep these in order. Firstly, Thursday, October 2nd, there's a ribbon cutting for the new Kiwanis Pavilion at the new Union Park. Secondly, there is a golf tournament for the benefit of the Hanover Borough Parks, October 13th. I'd play if 3 other people want to play with me, so see me afterwards. You have to be good, though. Sorry. And also, there's a Guthrie Gala Black Tie Masquerade Ball to benefit our library November 21st, 2025. And that's it. Oh, a staff announcement? Yes, sir.
Yes, it is, according to public comment, I just wanted to let the gentleman know, October 13th, Columbus Day, is when we have coordinated with the post office to finally pave that alley beside the post office.
Should I ask for more? I mean, jeez, wow. Can I introduce you to my wife? Okay, well, I will accept a motion to adjourn.
President Rinkart,
Yes.
regarding the celebration at the Guthrie, I would hope that we would have great representation there. We make decisions about the library, and it's good if we would attend. Thank you.
Agreed, agreed. Counselor,
Make a motion to adjourn, too.
Counselor Crest says, first, I will take you a second. All in favor of adjournment, signify by saying aye. Opposed? Motion carries. See you next month.